And we're now live. So thank you for joining us. I can see we have a few viewers already. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through all the winners from TADHack Global over the past 2 weekends. So we're going to start with all the location winners, just to review all the people and their amazing hacks. We're then going to move on to Arcfire's challenge, and then we're going to go through the global sponsors and all the prizes they allocate. Because what we have is like 2 phases of prizes. We have all the location prizes that you can win, and then what we do is we wrap all the hacks up, and then the global sponsors look at them, and then they say, well, you know, there's a hack there that we think deserves something but missed out for that location, or there's one that's won, but actually we want to top them up and increase their prize money. So that's why we do this sort of 2-phase, and also it acts as a nice wrap up to the whole of the event. So let me share my presentation. Just hang on a second. This is the most dangerous time. Hopefully you can see the slide there. So let me run through what happened over the past couple of weekends. It's been intense. So it's 22nd to the 24th, 29th to the 1st of October, and we're reviewing the winners across all these locations. We had over 33,000 registrations, more than the 2,000 registrations we had last year. So we had a lot of interest in what we were doing. TADHack Global only happens because of Video, Apophonica, Temesis, Matrix, and Telestack sponsorship. They're the guys that are paying and making this event possible. But also, there are over 65 partners around the world that are helping us run all these locations. So it's a massive global community that makes TADHack possible. And it's many individuals as well. And they're all doing it because they think programmable telecoms is powerful. It's democratized, so almost anybody can use it. Or you just want to get the message out there in using these technologies to solve problems that matter to you. We started back in 2014. We doubled in size in 2015. We doubled in size in 2016. We got more focused in terms of quality. And that's one of the key trends that came out of this year, is the quality of the hacks were exceptionally high. Many locations had real problems choosing the winners, and all the global prizes that have been allocated, again, had a similar challenge. Also, the hacks had a strong community element and also a strong human element. That is, whether it be humanitarian, whether it's focused on using technology to help people in their lives. So these were some of the trends that came out of this year. So what I'm going to do is quickly run through the location winners, and to the sponsors that are on the call, if it's your location or you were involved in that location, please jump on in. I'm just going to quickly run through these, and then we'll get on to the global winners. So we had Brisbane, that was run by Oracle, Cube Foundry, Locatrix, Telstra, and of course Murudi is their developer hub. And then the winners included Event Muster, it included PMedic, Equality Bot. Now Jim, he was flying in from LA during the start of the event, so he just made it in time to give his pitch. So well done in making that long haul trip. Also, Coffee Hackers won a prize in Brisbane. So that's the great thing. We have the TADHack location prize, but also we have many local prizes as well. In Sydney, we had Bunyip, which I love. It's a great hack. And they won the location prize. S-Forum won the challenge prize. Go Doctors won the creativity prize. Again, these are local prizes. In Melbourne, we had Banana Exchange, which again, it's a great hack. They won the location prize. Then there was Roya, won the creativity prize. Comrades won the challenge prize. And in Auckland, we just had one team, so they all came together and they got recognition for being pioneers in being the first event that we've run in Auckland. Then we were very fortunate to have the National University for Science and Technology. They ran Islamabad, and as you can see, they ran it on their impressive campus. And we had the winner, Mooble, which was a great hack, SMS language conversion, great example of using telestacks, and also Chaluta, which means convenience, and that's repair services. And again, the great thing is with many of these hacks, even though we've had similar hacks in other locations, they're all localized to the very specific situations in each of those countries. And that localization is very important for adoption and success. In Kiev, which was run by TADHack, we had, again, amazing hacks. Here we had Save Me, which is an application to find somebody nearby to help you. Then there was WebStreamer, which is a web platform that allows users to stream their videos across multiple platforms. I could definitely use that one. We then had Fuja, which is a IoT device control app. Again, great example of using Apophonica. Then on to Chicago. This was run by the Real-Time Communications Lab and also had two local sponsors of Faxio and Telnix. Faxio is a fax API, and the winners, we're just going to break them down into who won the respective prizes. So the location prize was split across IRMA, across AI Collab, and across Virgil. And you can see Carol Davids, the professor for the IIT Real-Time Communications Lab there in the center. Then the Faxio prize winners were IRMA on the left. There's Howard and Josh in the middle. They're from Faxio. And then there was the Virgil hack from Alex and Alberto. And then the Telnex prizes that was split across 3 teams. There was Project Sapphire using Pratik, Lucas, and Yanni. There was, again, AI Collab. Then there was Ming and Rachel. They're sort of just off to the right of the center. And then Virgil used Telestacks, Telnix, of course, and Faxio, and that was Alex and Alberto. And you have to show some pictures of what we got up to. So there's us sharing some tacos as the evening was starting in Chicago. In St. Petersburg, we had, again, run by TADHack and also IT events. This was the first time we'd run an event in St. Petersburg, and great turnout and some very impressive hacks. So we had Vlad and Pavel with Romo. They won the top prize. Second prize went to the postmodern students with their hack live coding. Then we had the Under the Bridge team with their hack Red Need. Again, impressive hacks. They're all available on the TADHack YouTube channel to see the winners, but also all the other hacks that were created. And a special thanks to Yuri and the TADHack team for running both the Kiev and the St. Petersburg locations and doing such an excellent job. We then have The Hague, and we have the Hague team there. This is an example of a group of individuals coming together and making a TADHack location happen. So we have Bart and Guido, and of course many more that came together to run this location. They created a set of challenges, and what they did is they focused on solving one of those challenges, which was Baba Job. And this shows the hackathon participants working late into the night, and here's the team that won, and they were focusing on a hack called Thank You, which is about youngsters assisting elderly people. Then in Lagos, so this is in Nigeria, this was run by David Olozi. He runs Disruptive Africa, and also Wiretooth is his company, and partnered with Syscom Tech, which is a Nigerian ISP. So it's actually, the event ran at Syscom Tech's offices. And there's 4 hacks that they produced. For the sake of time, I'm not going to run through all of them. The slides are going to be available on the weblog, just to say that one of the common themes that came out is because mobile broadband is not pervasive in Nigeria, USSD plays a critical role in many of the services. And that's why you see USSD popping up time and time again in the hacks from Lagos. Moving on to Buenos Aires. So we have the hack Safe Place. They won the first prize. Then we have Foodie from Bruno, Gianluca, Gian, and Gabrielle. And then Fluency, which won the third place prize. Buenos Aires, again, new location for us. And there's Germain, who is running the location. Again, a great example of an individual that took the initiative and made TADHack happen in a particular location, and great hacks that came out of there. Kuala Lumpur was our second biggest location. I think they ended up with about 150 people there on the day. A massive event. As you can see, when you have team numbers going in up to 40, that sort of shows you that it was quite a few teams there. So they won the first prize with Beams. Then the second place went to Hack that was using Apophonica. And then Team 29, they won the third place prize. Now, there were many other local prizes as well. So Team 3 with Meet the Doctor won the Digi prize because, of course, Digi was one of the sponsors for TADHack Kuala Lumpur. Also, KB Lee. So KB is on the left-hand side there, and he had a hack Power Snap, and that was using Digi and Google APIs. KB has been a regular attendee of TADHack over the years in KL. And MDEC had a second prize winner, and that was Chlorine. And there was a third prize winner from MDEC, and that was James. Again, James has been a regular TADHack Kuala Lumpur attendee, and it's really great to see his talent recognized. Athens, and just so you know, the order of these is just as they arrived in to my inbox. They have CUSA that was built on RESTCOM, and they had an IoT SMS monitoring app. And then they had third prize, which was focused on SS7 attacks, again, using Telestack's gateway. And a special thanks to Barphone, who provided the location and all the catering through the event. Moving on to Singapore. Here are the survivors. So some excellent hacks came out to Singapore. Do you want to go for it, Chip?
Yeah, I'll take a quick turn through the slides for you. So basically, the first slide is the team of the Temasys folks that helped organize and run the event. And there's no way I could have pulled this together without them. And in spite of the fact that Singapore is a relatively new location, and we've had some challenges this year getting attendees to come along, we did actually throw an event. We've got a new local partner called SpaceMob, which is a co-working space that was recently acquired by WeWork. And we've got big plans to work with them over the next couple of years in a longer term approach to building events and supporting TADHack, I hope, in the next couple of years as well, but not just in Singapore, in a couple of other major locations where we think there would be a lot of interest in TADHack and that today don't get direct support. So that's sort of a bit of news for us over here. In terms of the, you can see some of the photos from the event there on the next slide. And then in terms of the winners, we had 3 pretty solid plays, and they were not always in the same themes as a lot of the other hacks from other locations. One thing I noticed, and one thing that I tried to encourage with the folks that were in Singapore, is to have a little bit of fun. A lot of them work for Temasys, so they want to work with our technology, and we used that as an opportunity also to generate hacks. This was not one of them. This was a guy who came to Singapore specifically to hang out with us during the event. He created a hack using Telestack's RESTCOM APIs and is trying to make a go of a sort of I think of it as an old-timey e-commerce app. So basically using a phone, but having a variety of different ways to order goods online, and starting with consumables for household chores like laundry and things like that. So setting up a dash service, but being able to use a 3G smartphone, or creating a mobile app, but basically all running over the top of Telestack. So that was pretty cool. The next one was a collection of folks from Temesis, but with one outside party as well, who joined us, and they actually were experimenting with facial recognition and sentiment analysis, and they built a nice little app to show how that would work in the context of a few other use cases. And they were also trying things with new Amazon Web Services components that we have not really used yet either. So including AWS Lambda, and they hooked that all up to Google's Cloud Vision services to do the sentiment analysis. So that was pretty fun. And again, I encouraged them to come up with something that was small enough that they could implement it in 24 hours or less, and then basically build an explanation around that. And in our location, pretty much everybody won. So the last piece was we like to see things that are done with the data channels in WebRTC, and we think that's an area which is not utilized enough, or that's not familiar enough to people. So we've been looking for opportunities to expose people to working with that, and also using some of the other alerts and event handlers that we have in our own SDKs. And so the team here, again, one person new to Singapore who came to the event that was not familiar with any of these technologies, and then a couple of our team members got in there. They created a game where the playing board is on the web browser, but they're using their mobile devices, and including iOS Safari 11, which just came out, and Android web browsers, to play the game of whack-a-mole, where they're using the inertial tracking part of the device to sort of create the hammer motion. And as you're swinging your arms, you're hitting the moles, which are popping up on the screen. And it's all using the data channel of WebRTC to handle the messaging back and forth between the screen and the devices. So there's a video that we'll make available online a little bit later if you want to see how tired this actually makes people who were playing the game. But it was an absolute riot to see them creating this and then demoing it live as well. It was something everybody really enjoyed. So, and honestly, I didn't see any other hack in the entire globe that was quite like this. I know people were some of the things that we'll talk about in a little bit were more about the social and community impact of the hacks, and the viability of the idea as a business, and whether or not that could scale, and those kinds of things, and thinking a little bit harder about those things. Sometimes you just need to have fun, and that's what this was about.
Absolutely. So, that was great. Thanks so much, Chip. So just moving on, Pune. We had several companies helping us here, 1,000 Startups, Seed, La Monture, and of course Telestack, where Amit is based, and their winners were United IoT Ecosystem, were Bundesbanken, and then Telefire. So well done to all the Pune winners there. Then, of course, Sri Lanka, they've been with us since the start. They are massive. They had, I think, well over 700 registrations. They whittled that down to 15 teams. And in the end, we can see here, the winner was Tigger, which is a mobile-based service used to automate daily tasks and broadcast the information to necessary partners. And then one of the runners-up was Hello Mom, which is an SMS platform that will educate pregnant women on the gestation week or infant's week number. And then I'm not sure how this one is pronounced, but Guide Me, I assume. Oh yeah, absolutely, it says Guide Me afterwards. And it's just a low-cost, hassle-free, on-demand replacement for a regular tour guide. And again, this is a great one. We've seen it pop up many times, and the localization is what makes it, built specifically by local people for that particular market. Moving on, we have Paris. There we had Voxist, Dojo, Smartly, CM Telecom, Telestacks, and Capgemini helping us run that location. Some great hacks, and the winner was Project AromaBot, and that used Telestacks and Smartly AI as well as Boxist. And this is one that all the sponsors that were there were impressed with and could see how this could become a viable hack. A new location popping out in Colombia, so really glad that these guys could be here and take part. They were the wrap-up to TADHack this year, so they were the last location to finish. And their winners included Tech Team Co., and they won the location prize using Telestacks. Then the first place went to Susanna, Julian, and Camilo. And then they had Dr. Now Team, and that won the second place location prize using Temesys. Madrid has been with us again. It's where we founded TADHack, and University Polytechnic Madrid has taken on running that location. And even though it's very close to the start of term time, they were able to get a great turnout of hacks. This one received many commendations from people, which is Triton, and that's by Washington, Andres Rosa. Again, very experienced, very good hackers, and it's a sea agriculture monitoring system. And then we had Newscast, which is a professional information streaming platform. And then the third place went to Almanzo, and that's Jose and Victor, which is a link between patients and doctors. And we have London, and that's actually in Idea London as we speak. And here there's our winners, and they included Push Time, which is using Matrix to sync your phone and your laptop. There's then Culturoo, which is sort of like augmented conversations, where it takes what's being said and then provides additional information to you, whether it be weather-related or other information associated with a conversation. So that I thought was very interesting. We then have Polite AI, which is now an open source project. So at TADHack, they not only created the hack, but then they got the open source project up and running, really trying to deal with the troll problem. And there they used Matrix and TensorFlow. And it was a very impressive hack. And state of the chart, again, a great hack. Again, augmenting conversations. This is augmenting video calling, and they really did some great work there. Moving on now. So that's all the location winners. Now what we do, as I said, we have both Sponsor Challenge and then we have the Global Sponsors Prizes. So I'm now going to hand over to Miguel to announce the winner of the Arcfire Challenge. Are you there, Miguel?
Yes, I'm here, Alan. Hopefully you've got me okay.
Great, go for it.
You've pressed the button straight away. Brilliant. So you can see already, look, our challenge over the weekend, it was a really geeky one now, in fairness, because our particular challenge, the project Arcfire, just to explain before we can see the names exactly, Arcfire is actually a collaboration between a number of companies, which include Ericsson, i2CAT, Telefonica, Nextworks, IMEC, and Boston University. And its whole premise is to actually replace the current internet, replace TCP, replace IP with an alternative network architecture. So as you can imagine, TADHack is a fantastic opportunity for us to look at future applications, how we're looking to use communications in the future. And sure enough, being it so geeky, we did find that there was a couple of people interested, but in particular, Matt and Yin from Project Clearwater, who, again, Project Clearwater is the use of an IMS platform, an IMS core, which is open source, and to be able to interconnect two soft phones, to be able to use it through Clearwater, but running over a new network using RENA. That was certainly the big effort they could put in. I mean, it was clear from their video pitch, it was clear from their interaction on Slack, it was clear from their emails, they had genuinely looked at the APIs beforehand. They had developed a good bit of code over the weekend, and I'm delighted to say that Matt and Yin have made their current code available open source over through GitHub. They're raising issues against our particular implementations on the API, and we can even see one of our partners in the project are Telefonica, and they're certainly looking at this proof of concept to be completed over the next couple of weeks, to maybe give a proof of concept demo there within the next couple of weeks. So for me and from the team in Arcfire, we're absolutely delighted to have been connected with TADHack and be able to offer the prize towards Project Clearwater.
And that's excellent. Thank you so much, Miguel. I think it's one of those where it is geeky, but it was great to see several hacks coming together, and then just to see the amount of time and effort put up from everybody in trying to get this working over Arena. And it was so close. I felt really hard in sort of asking Matt and Yin to come and present. But I think, as you said, they've open sourced it, and I think this is the start of something that could be very interesting. So again, thank you so much for setting that challenge, Miguel. So moving on now, we're going to go through the global winners. So first up is Apophonica. So Anna, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me know so I don't make the same mistake with Miguel. Let me know when I should go to the next slide, okay?
All right, I will. Well, first of all, I can't tell how excited we are, me and all the Epiphonica team, to be a part of this hackathon, because it's amazing what things are possible to create in like 2 weekends. And that diversity of applications using programmable telecoms to address like very modern and very real life problems, it's absolutely exciting and it's thrilling. Because basically during these 2 weekends we saw apps that, I don't know, save lives, as Dan Morgan's Helper from London, or Save Me from Kiev, or Voice Suicide from Kuala Lumpur. We also saw apps that dedicated to telemedicine and healthcare, like Quitable, let's say, that helps people to quit smoking, or P-Medic from Brisbane, or Health Beeper from Popayan. And we also saw apps that encourage the responsibility for our planet Earth. We all have like Mobicycles, e-Advisor, or from London, or Cyclo from Madrid. I mean, it's fantastic. The IoT applications we saw there. And we see that basically the spectrum of applications that programmable telecom has, it's just unimaginable. And as we already said, we see the future of programmable telecoms, of how it can be applied. And it's really, I don't know, it's maybe the toughest decision our team ever made since the time we launched Epiphonica, to choose the winner of all this impressive diversity. But I mean, this is challenge, this is a hackathon, so that basically should be done. You probably know that there is no common criteria for global judging, and every sponsor judges based on their own criteria. As for us, there were basically 3 things we took into consideration when evaluating hacks. The first one was, we call it technological sophistication, and it mostly about how you manage to integrate different technologies, including Epiphonica, into your project. How you guys manage to make all those complicated things work together to create a product, to bring it to the customer, to the end user. The second one we considered was a potential impact it may have, either to general society or to developer community, or both. And the third one, let's say, it's creativity. It's how you find the less known areas of application for Epiphonica technologies for SMS, for voice calls, some maybe new and unexpected ways to use it. So it's a creativity on its highest level. And yeah, now we can, Alan, we can switch to the to the first Epiphonica's Global Prize winner. Yeah, and it's TADHack by Stephen and Lily from London. They created 2 great hacks, and our tech team is absolutely amazed about it. The first one is a Node.js library for Epiphonica, and the second one is an application, Reach Me Anywhere, that basically allows you to trigger a multi-channel message by SMS sent through Epiphonica. And this is the example of where different technologies come together and they work together to create this final experience. And this is the absolutely #1 among our tech team, as I said, and they are especially thrilled by the summon a jig emergency button that Steven showed there. they also asked me to tell Stephen and Lily, please don't make it, I mean, massively available since sometimes people want to be, I mean, away of any communication. But anyway, and this is our #1 winner, and half of our global prize pot goes to Stephen and Lily. Congrats, guys! This is great. The next one. The next one, which is 400, goes to Madrid, to the triple team. Created a Cyclo application. Basically, it's a really nice and up-to-date idea to connect people who has some broken electronics and prefer to repair it rather to buy something new, to connect these people with people who know how to repair it via the video channel, so they can take some lessons from professional or something like this. This is really, I think the nice is the best word that describes it, because it's very conscious, it's very responsible, and it also encourages the interaction in local community, which is like connection between people living in the same area. This is fantastic. Yeah, thank you, guys. And I've been personally in Madrid. I saw this team like really trying to find their way to create this app, and yeah, you're great, guys. Thank you so much for using Epiphonica for your project. And the next one, we also have 3 even prizes. The first one of $200 US go to UK, to PhoneGuard app, and this is my personal favorite, I like to say, because what it does, it charges a fee from a person, from a caller, if he's unwanted. Let's say if a marketing firm got your phone number and or some person calling you for some strange reason, they're basically forced to pay to talk to you. I think that this is a great idea in general, to protect like our private space and our peace of mind. But also I see a possible commercial implementations for this, like for example, to justify the communication between marketers and people, so that if people can get paid for participating in all those questionnaires or marketing research, I think that could be fine, and that can be of use in this particular area. The next one. Yeah, the next one goes to chlorine application. We already mentioned it, and this one is from Kuala Lumpur. And this is basically the app, the wearable device, let's say, that alerts family members if their elder relative feels bad. This needs no explanation, I think, just because this is so humanly and this is so important. And I mean, everything good I can imagine about the social impact of the hack is in their hack, so we just wanted to highlight it. We appreciate this effort to make the difference, let's say. Last one from Epiphonica, Alan, the next one, yeah. It's this is also a $200 US, go to US Chicago, to Dan Morgan for his helper application, which leverages SMS and natural language processing on the server side to prioritize tasks for rescue team, to define whether the person in need of help is in a situation which needs immediate attention, or it can be put into the second line and the situation can wait. And this is also very applicable. This is also, here we talk about the human life again. And that's the reason why we think it's huge. It's also a solid implementation of Epiphonica technology. So we appreciate it. Yeah. And I hope, guys, yeah, all of you will find your way to the market in one way or another, because what you created is exciting. Thank you.
No, that was great. Thank you so much, Anna. So Amandine, let me know when you want me to press on for next slide.
I will. Thank you, Alan. So just as a short introduction, yes, was amazing participation on Matrix this year, and we're very happy to see things popping up everywhere. In terms of how we've made the judging, we considered hacks which actually were working end-to-end, and were making, of course, well, good use of the API. We also had different angles on using Matrix, and there were some very, very specific to Matrix things, some ways of using it which were unusual but very aligned with our philosophy, and some more I would say classic use case of just messaging, but were taken in the very real life use cases, which were great. So the first one, you can move ahead, Alan, is Coffee Hackers, which is has done a good integration of Matrix with Oracle apps, and was working very, very well. So indeed, it's a professional team from Oracle, but yes, the work they did was good. And it's basically intrusion detection in the systems, and Matrix was used as the basis to send around the messages, and the Oracle apps were actually displaying the appropriate graph. And Matrix was also used to actually ring up the security analyst on the other side, so that they could wake up and do something about it. So yeah, we really like this. It's a fully end-to-end working product, basically. So that was great. The next one is Polite.ai, which had already been had a local price, but was really working really, really well. It's machine learning to basically block trolls in real-time chat. And yes, we were really impressed by what they did. They're based in London. And so we topped up their the price they got in London. And same thing for the second one, which is Aviral, who has been also a long-time member of our community, and did an amazing hack allowing to synchronize different things across the different devices, and all by himself. And yes, it was very impressive hack over the weekend from Aviral. And then the button game by Quentin in Paris. That's one of the unexpected use cases that we really liked, because it's basically using Matrix as a database. And Matrix is a database for real-time data and synchronizing everything and anything. So we really liked the way he took the idea and how he used it as unusual way to use chat rooms just to synchronize data. So really like the angle here. Next one on Go Doctors was also interesting. So they have been doing a lot of things on the hack. There were very different angles tackled, but the way they customized Riot and added translations to it was really good. So that's why they got a prize from us. And the next one was Grow Apps Triton. And they basically use Matrix as synchronization data for IoT in the CC agriculture ecosystem, which was unusual. Their pitch was very glossy with fun animations as well, but the product was overall working, and so yeah, we were very happy with the kind of things they've been doing with Matrix here. And the next one, so I guess it's called Star, I think. Well, I don't know the name of it, but basically they started added, so it's Igor and Dimitri, who is Dimitri is also a long-term member of the community, Matrix community, and they added Keybase as an identity system, decentralized identity system for centralized identity system to Matrix, which is something we've been considering and wanted to do, and is very aligned with what we wanted in the long term. So it's it was a good view into the future, and something we really liked. And the next one, which is the last one, thank you, was so the team managed to set up their own Matrix server, which was great, and had been using Matrix in a very nice architecture, and it's a use case which is very legit, shall we say, in terms of having young people assisting older ones. So yeah, that was a good use of Matrix as well. So basically, we tried to really support everyone who's been building things which were working relatively well on Matrix, and yeah, all of that was great. We're very happy with the results. So thank you guys. I hope you had lots of fun, and that be continuing to use Matrix later.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you.
My name is Jean Deruel, and I'm the CTO of TADHack. This year, TADHack will be awarding 3 prizes for the TADHack 2017 global winners. I must say that there was an overwhelming amount of attendees this year to TADHack, which led to a bigger number of hacks. The quality of the hacks seems also to get higher each year. It was really impressive, and we had a very hard time deciding between multiple competing hacks, and decided thus to break down our prizes in the following categories. So first, we would like to have a categories for disaster relief in the light of the terrible events that happened recently with Irma, Maria, Mexico earthquake as well, by example. And the winner for that category goes to Colombia Tech Team Co. team, which created an impressive hack to help solving those very hard challenges, which was also very involved technically by using TADHack's RESCOM Gateway Mobile Location Center, aka GMLC, the USSD Gateway, and RESCOM Connect. Second, for improving the customer experience in general in terms of category, which we award to the AromaBot team in Paris, which created a hack that used RESCOM speech-to-text and automatic speech recognition APIs that got integrated to Smartly.ai natural language understanding and chatbot platform as a partner to TADHack. That in turn was hooked to a machine learning algorithm to improve customer experience while reducing the cost on the contact center. All of this accessible to an omni-channel play, meaning PSTN, WebRTC, messaging, or SMS. Third category would be for IoT, which we award to the IoT team in Greece, which is responsible for monitoring and controlling sensors that you can give command to control those sensors via RESCOM, SMS, or messaging solutions. I would like to thank again all of the hackers for spending time to hack over the weekend and coming up with great quality hacks, and extend my thank you to Alan Quayle, who managed to organize an unparalleled global hacking event, and to all of the other sponsors and partners. Thank you again on behalf of TADHack, and I'm looking forward to the next year for even greater hacks. Goodbye.
Okay, moving on. Chip, let me know when you want me to go to the next slide.
Okay, let me just make sure I've unmuted myself.
Yes.
The last thing I want to do is be mumbling away here at 11:30 in the evening and have nobody hear me. Okay, so
sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Next slide. Okay, so I'm going to go in reverse order, leading up to the first place winner from third. We had a few things we wanted to accomplish with the way we chose our hacks. So we looked at, of course, whether or not the teams used Temesys in their hacks, which is like a primary requirement. We also wanted to see that they'd gotten some progress towards making something work in real life. I believe very much in the concept of the dangerous demo or live coding examples. So we really wanted to see people accomplish something where they could walk away and go, hey, look, I actually made something work this weekend. And we exist to help them accomplish that goal. And so for anyone that was working with us, I mean, we had our support team and myself, waking up in the middle of the night to check Slack to make sure there were messages that were being answered. And if there weren't, I was calling the engineers to wake them up and say, hey, let's get on this. So I really want to give a shout out to everyone that tried and used our SDKs and APIs. It really is our pleasure to see so many people working with that, with those tools. And this is just a great opportunity for us to get feedback about how we're doing, to help generate enthusiasm and not just about the projects, and of course about Temesys's product, but also about this event and the community that Alan has worked so hard to build over the last 4 years. So I'm really excited about everything that's happened. Now, of course, I also like to think about the strength of the idea and the potential for those ideas that are being sprung out of these events and the hacks that are coming forward. And you'll see that in terms of the choices we made about the winners, they have very practical solutions that can be implemented and scaled. They actually come up with interesting ways to use the technology that we are built around. And I think, again, they really deserve all the credit. It was a very difficult decision. We had a number of people who hacked on us and mashed us up with Matrix or with Epiphonica. It was really exciting to see how our technologies complement each other in the right situations and in these projects that people have thrown together in literally hours. And in our case in Singapore, we kept the doors open for 10 hours, but I have a feeling that people actually worked a lot more than that on their projects from day to day. So start off with third place. I was really pleasantly just surprised to see that we had traction in KL, or Kuala Lumpur as it's known in our neck of the woods. And the thing that excited me about what I saw here with Envmon, which is James Ong's hack, is the mashup between IoT and the ability to augment that application with real-time communication. So using data channel and streaming a stream of data, as well as bringing in audio and video if you need it to support field service technicians or to basically trigger alerts using, an SMS API or whatever solution you want on that regard. But then it's about how you make all these things, as Anna was saying earlier, how you make them all work together and how you package that into something that is easily accessible and usable for an end user, even though there's a lot of complicated things happening on the back end. So I really want to see more things like this. And I think this is a common theme for me. I'm extremely excited to see how people mash different things up and get creative with how they use the different tool sets. So we're going to give James $300, and we're also going to follow up with him and everyone else that's used Temasys, but for the winners, we're going to give them absolutely free premium support to try and help them accelerate the development on their application or bring it into a live proof of concept or into something that is, a live product if they want to take it that way. So, so that's really kind of, you'll see this as a recurring theme on the next two slides, and I probably won't talk as long about them. So moving forward. Second place, again, this team got a ton of recognition already. They totally deserved it. Their demo was polished. The idea was mature. It was innovative. It's about, it's socially responsible. I have an interest in aquaculture and aquaponics and sustainability of our food sources. And in Singapore, I don't know if you're familiar with things here, but we import about 80% of all the food we eat. So food security is a huge issue. And here's a little team in Madrid that's actually hacked together over a weekend a way of automatically monitoring fish farms, mollusk farms, and providing alerts and feedback to help people reduce waste and loss of crops in those industries. And I have personal investment in these kinds of ideas. And again, it's a mashup of different vendors' technologies to generate an outcome which allows people to do a lot more simply than they could if they had to do this by themselves, using technology from IoT to M2M to real-time video streams where a field support person can be out on a boat seeing what's going on, or the buoy in the water can actually show you footage of what the surface of the water looks like if there's an algae bloom, whatever it is, right? This is just fantastic stuff. So we definitely want to see them succeed. And again, we've topped up their prize pot quite a bit. And again, just really loved that idea. The last one, moving on, is really significant in terms of what we think the potential impact for something like this project could have. As a community service, as a potential business, you see a lot of focus on telemedicine and telehealth applications these days. Temasys has quite a few customers in that space, and I hate to be so blunt about it, but a lot of it is kind of like let's help make patient-doctor interactions simpler, or let's do something different with a patient-doctor video chat app where we're embedding that in an application. And those things are innovative and cool, and it's what we need today to improve access to care globally and to be able to handle remote healthcare when diseases are getting more complicated to treat. You got patients that aren't able to get where they need to go, and you want to provide world-class medical care. It's a really important topic. However, this project here is a totally different take on emergency medical services and telemedicine. And I think some of the cool things about it weren't just the technology pieces, but also the way they thought about issues like privacy. And I'm surprised that they were able to work through all of that in such a short period of time. And for me, it wasn't necessarily about the demo being really polished, but here's an idea which has got legs. And if it were to get funding, it could actually be a really great business and something that's both socially responsible and potentially profitable. So I felt like the folks from Auckland, I know it was the first time the event was there. It was a small team. Everybody had to bundle together. When you factor all those things together and the fact that they came up with this idea and were able to produce this hack and this project in a weekend, I was pretty blown away by that. So I really appreciated both the fact that they chose us and worked with Temasys Technology and a couple of others, but I thought the idea was just absolutely fantastic. So that's my pitch on our pitches.
Excellent. No, that was excellent job for so late in the evening there, Chip. Thanks again so much. So moving on, last but definitely not least is video. So Ben, let me know when you want me to move on to the next slide.
Sure, will do. So first off, we were so excited to be part of this event. This was the first TADHack global event that video had participated in. We had participated earlier in the year in the mini event in Orlando, but we were blown away by not only the number of hacks that were done, but the quality of the work that everyone put out. So it really made our job very, very difficult to choose winners. We sort of wish we could award everyone a prize, but it was truly impressive to see not only the cleverness of the hacks, the way they've incorporated different technologies, the way they're solving real problems, but also the types of problems that are being solved. Everything from, gosh, this is annoying, and here's a really clever way to solve the problem, to, this is a really big global problem that impacts everyone, and they found a creative way to solve those challenges. So we really looked at the different ways in which people have integrated video, but we were also looking at how other technologies were incorporated with video as well, because we think that's really what makes this whole idea of programmable telecoms interesting, where you can pick the right technology for the right mode of communication. And so with that, Alan. So our top prize award went to Ciclo. So we really thought this was a tremendous cause. It made a lot of sense. We thought it was a great example of remote expertise, a way to bring in a remote expert to solve a real problem for people. Not only that it helps to reduce the amount of landfill waste that goes into our landfills every day. So we really, really liked this award, and we thought their pitch was excellent. We thought the application was polished. They did a great job. They incorporated both mobile and desktop. It was really, really a great hack. So congratulations to them. So next. So next went to Text2. This one was sort of something that we thought was really cool, because it actually incorporated real-time text-to-speech into the video call itself. So this is, who hasn't been in a video meeting or a meeting of any kind, and someone forgot to take notes, or you don't have that transcript from the conversation. So this is a pain that we run into frequently ourselves when we have meetings, and having that text transcript that came from the conversation was really interesting. And we can see a lot of other interesting applications where that would be a benefit, because you could use that text transcript as a searchable archive that you can go back and find the information. So we thought this was a really neat way to mash up the Microsoft speech-to-text API with video as well. So next was QR call. What was brilliant about this API was the simplicity. It really made it very, very easy to connect into your call. And there's so many different services that are out there, and you need to join. Am I dialing in? Is there a PIN code? Is there a number I need to call? Are they calling me? What's the link? And what we loved about it, it was simply you show the QR code to the camera and you're connected. And we thought that was a really, really elegant, simple way that solves a daily problem. So that was a really great hack. Next. AI Collab. So similar to what Chip was mentioning earlier, healthcare and telehealth especially it's a really important element, I think, globally, because really the providing care or extending care is something that's really important. There's a shortage of care. Some people aren't always located in a space where they can get care. But what was interesting about AI Collab was it focused not on sort of the clinician or in-home healthcare use cases. It was a way for physicians to collaborate and to share their expertise and knowledge. So we really, really like this approach for two reasons. One, it allows for the sharing of knowledge globally amongst doctors. So it would bring the overall level of healthcare globally up and improve healthcare. But also, it was just a really impressive effort by basically a single man team, and how he just dove in. He knew exactly the problem he wanted to solve, rolled up his sleeve, and incorporated several technologies all into one. It was really, really impressive effort. So congratulations to him. Next. Safe place. Yeah, so this was a really interesting as well. So it was providing basically a motion detection in the ability to detect if there's an intruder in the home, and then send out an alert, or suspicious activity even, and send out an alert to not only the homeowner, but also, you know, the appropriate authorities. And it was really a neat way of incorporating sort of this smart monitoring capability with real-time communications as well. So it was, we thought it was an interesting mashup in an area that could probably be explored a little more thoroughly, because there could be a lot of potential there with that application. Next. And state of the chart, we just thought this was really cool because it takes the traditional video collaboration concept that many people are used to, but it adds a lot of more interesting dynamic elements for collaboration. So it was really a really interesting way of incorporating different technologies. So we really like that one as well.
Excellent, Ben.
I think that was
Thank
the last
you
one.
Yeah,
so
that's correct. That's the last one.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who used video in their hack. We really thoroughly enjoyed the event ourselves. We hope you enjoyed using our APIs, and you know, any feedback or anything you have from using our APIs, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ben. So let me just wrap up. Let me just give you the date for next year. So we'll be back into October. So hopefully it won't be so difficult for some of the universities. So it'll be the weekend of the 13th and 14th. We're going to try to keep it to one weekend rather than two. So with that, let me stop sharing. And there we go. Excellent. I'm back. So just to say to everybody who took part, not just the winners, but everyone who took the effort, who spent 2 days hacking on programmable telecoms, we hope you've whetted your appetite to the potential. You've seen literally not just tens, over 100 different hacks just in this presentation here, all using programmable telecoms to make a difference in people's lives. And you can see some of them are so large, it's making a difference to humanity. So I'll just, any closing comments from any of the sponsors? Otherwise, I'll wrap things up. Everybody's quiet. It's been an hour.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled. It's really hard to speak.
Thank you so much, Anna. No, so that's it for this. I'll be putting it all the winners on the weblog as well, so you don't have to listen through the presentation. The slides will be going up there momentarily as well. So again, thank you to all the sponsors. We've shown time and time again how powerful your platforms are, and I hope we'll be able to do that in the future as well. So wishing everybody either a good morning, a good evening, or good night. Thanks a lot, guys.